Welcome to College Hoops Weekly, presented by Jif.
I'm Pat Forde here to preview the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 of the men's NCAA basketball tournament. Let's start by talking about the must-see region of the four. All of them are going to be great, but the one that most interests me and the one that I will attend is the South region in Atlanta. All four coaches of the teams there have been to a Final Four before. We've got Auburn against Michigan. We've got Mississippi against Michigan State. Bruce Pearl took Auburn to the 2019 Final Four. Dusty May, the Michigan coach, took Florida Atlantic there 2 years ago. Chris Beard, the Mississippi coach, took Texas Tech to the same 2019 Final Four that Bruce Pearl was in. And Tom Izzo's been to a bunch of them with Michigan State. So can't wait to see the coaching matchups there and the SEC versus Big Ten showdowns. Which of those leagues will end up getting more bragging rights as this tournament boils down maybe to a power struggle between those two leagues. All four of the number one seeds have advanced so far in the men's basketball tournament. Now, which ones are the most likely out of those four and the least likely to get all the way to the Final Four? Here's what I've got. I think Florida's the most likely. I like the Gators coming in as the team to win this NCAA tournament. That hasn't changed through two rounds. And they're the only ones out of the number one seeds that doesn't have a number two seed still in the bracket, with St. John's being eliminated there. So I think a little bit easier path for the Gators and the fact that they're the best team. So I would be very surprised if we don't see them in San Antonio. As far as which number one seed is least likely to get there, I'm going to go with Auburn. Tough path, I think, to get through Atlanta there. They've got a tough Michigan team that won the Big Ten tournament title laying in wait for them. And then I think quite likely a regional final game against old March master Tom Izzo and Michigan State, the team that won the Big Ten regular season title. So two very tough games for Auburn to get through there. And I think that team has maybe showed a little bit more vulnerability than the other number one seeds so far to date. So that's the way I see the number one seeds breaking down.
And now for our difference maker of the day. Jif makes the difference when trying to save the celery. Let's take a look at the difference makers of the tournament.
The biggest difference maker for me this weekend in the Sweet 16, no surprise here, but I'm going with Cooper Flagg from Duke. He came back from the ankle injury in the Atlantic Coast Conference tournament to look really good through the first two rounds without having to do a lot and without having to play massive minutes in Duke's victories over Mount St. Mary's and over Baylor. He averaged 16 points in that time and 8 rebounds and 5 assists, so he's right on top of his game in terms of all-around impact. He's also very good at the defensive end. He's on his way to being the number one pick in the NBA draft this year, and he's must-watch TV because he just does everything. So he's the best player still in the tournament, and I think he will be the potential difference maker for Duke to get to San Antonio.